Now, I have a confession to make. The last time I played a video game, I was looking at a pixelated screen of little spaceships and those green men. But I know things have really changed. The money generated from games today are now beating Hollywood's biggest blockbusters, and their increasingly adult themes are making them just as controversial. Tomodachi Life is a life simulation game. It's by the gaming giant Nintendo. It's been a huge hit in Japan. It's now set to launch in the US and in Europe. But unlike other games of its kind, the game does not allow its characters to be gay, and that's got plenty of people upset. Let's talk to Ed, who is a games developer for Media Tonic, Jem Alexander, who is a freelance writer on the video games industry. Thank you both very much for joining us here on Impact. So a controversial one. What do you think, Ed? Should there be gay characters in this game?
I mean, obviously, I would prefer that there were the ability to be a gay character in this game and to have gay relationships, especially from a personal point of view as well. However, I think the product was developed in Japan and was largely considered to be for the Japanese market. It was a very big surprise that this game would ever come out of Japan. And the Japanese, Japanese societal norms are slightly different to ours. Gay marriage isn't illegal. Isn't legal. And there's no sort of same-sex coupling laws. So it's understandable that the game was kind of developed slightly in a bubble. I think it's a shame that the game hasn't got that as it's come abroad.
What do you think, Jem? Should they just change it so that it is different for the European and the American market?
I think they should absolutely change it. I think really that's the only option. The game was created in Japan, but if you're bringing it over to the Western world, then you should change it to reflect Western sensibilities. I think especially with such a hot button topic as sexuality in games, which is something that's sort of exploding in the industry right now, and we're seeing games lauded for their inclusion of homosexual characters such as The Last of Us and Gone Home.
Ed, is that an easy thing to do for them to simply change the game in terms of programming the game?
It's not entirely straightforward. I mean, obviously none of us know quite how much Nintendo have investigated the possibility of doing it. It wouldn't be a small change to do. You'd need to get the original development team to look at the game, to reprogram the game and change elements of it. That team may not even be together anymore. They might have split up onto separate projects. So it's not an entirely straightforward way, and especially for a game that's probably not expected to sell very well outside of Japan, I think it's understandable that that Nintendo may think it's not worth that extra effort.
I mean, Jem, I'm right in thinking this is a game that the characters are kind of modelled on you, right?
That's
I mean, I was seeing their slogan, your friends, your drama, your life. So surely, if you are a gay gamer,
yes,
then that means you should be able to marry your boyfriend or your
absolutely.
girlfriend.
It sounds like it's the most inclusive game in the world. It's talking about your life, and Nintendo is telling me explicitly that I'm not allowed to live my life within this game, and I think that that's a real shame.
Do you think that is, though, just to play the devil's advocate, the role of a game, or even Nintendo, to sort of provide some kind of quite progressive, as they would see it, social commentary on life?
I think they should. Yeah. I mean, as a scriptwriter in the video games industry, I want to portray real life in fantastical settings and even real life settings. It's what we should be doing as a games industry, is telling a diverse range of stories and showing a diverse range of characters. And so yeah, absolutely, this is something that should be progressed by every company.
Jem, I know there's been a social media campaign that's tried to get this addressed. Does that sort of thing work? Could enough pressure get Nintendo to change its mind?
I don't see why not. It forced them to make a statement recently about the fact that they weren't intending to create a social commentary with this game, that it's a quirky, whimsical world. And whether they like it or not, they are creating a social commentary with this game. They are saying this is how we see the world. And I think it's a shame that, it's a quirky, whimsical world that we're not invited to.
Ed, you mentioned, or both of you mentioned before, but so there are games in which there are gay characters.
Yes.
Are they similar? Are they games where you also are essentially yourself?
Yeah, there's the Sims, which is a very popular franchise which has been around for a great many years, which is kind of a life simulation thing, where everybody defaults to being bisexual. So if you want to have a relationship with a man or a woman, you can make your characters whatever you'd like to. So it's definitely been done before and a long time ago. So it does seem that Nintendo is quite behind the curve on this one.
Things have really changed then since I played Pac-Man and Space Invaders, so it seems. Thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you.